وسابقت الأحبة في تلاوته وأنعم حين ألقاهم بلقياه ولي شيخ إذا رتلت ألمحه تقبلني من الإعجاب عيناه.
This is something that most likely will not forget inshallah. So you make the niyyah, that's the pillar, but wajib is to make it in the miqat. There are so many sunan, then extra things that when I say sunan, by the way, I'm not saying that you don't do it. No, you do them and they are very recommended. But if you miss any of those things that I'm mentioning, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. So the wajib is only two wajibat, as far as I can remember now, pertaining the ihram, which is the first pillar. Number one is to make it where? In the miqat or before it. Number two is to put on for men, to put on the ihram and avoiding all the mahdurat from that time on. The sunnah that you have to do before ihram is what? Number one, you take a shower, if possible. Take a shower, sunnah. What if I didn't take a shower? Fine, not a problem. Take a shower. Number two, it's recommended in this case to better do it even before leaving home. Remove the hair of the body, armpits, this and that, the pubic hair, so you be clean enough before you go there. Number three is that you apply some perfumes. That's before the ihram. Some people it's confusing for them. That's before the ihram, because you will get to the state of ihram, a lot of sweating and stuff, and it's anyway the sunnah of the Nabi. Apply some perfumes in your body before you make the ihram. Like you take a shower, remove the hair, or remove the hair before, and then after that you apply the perfumes, and then you put on the ihram for the men. For the men, first ihram is 2 sheets like that, and I will show you in a minute easy way to put them. So only those 2 sheets from now on. For men, they cannot, certain things will not be applicable, will not be allowed for them. Like they cannot cover their hair. For men only. They cannot cover the hair. They cannot cut their nails. That's for men and women. They cannot cut the nails. They cannot cut the hair. Men and women also during ihram. They cannot apply perfume. That's from the time of ihram and on, when they announce the niyyah. They cannot do certain things that we can talk about them also in detail, maybe at the end. So again, we are now at the time, at the station, at the miqat. What is the thing that we are supposed to do and there is no way we have to do it? What is it? The intention. How to prepare for that? There are some sunan. Number one is take shower, remove the hair, apply some perfumes, and then put the ihram on. And then when it's time to say the niyyah, it's better to pray 2 rak'ah sunnah. Again, if possible. Could be in the airplane, might not be fit for everybody to pray 2 rak'ah, but it's okay. You can pray while sitting down. Pray 2 rak'ah, and then after those 2 rak'ah, you announce the niyyah. That's again, all of that should be done before the miqat. So the airplane, the pilot will let you know. Then you announce the niyyah. How to announce the niyyah? What to say? This is one of the places or the ibadat that it's actually recommended or sunnah to say it out loud. What to say? Any form that shows your hajj will work. But you might say, labbaik Allahumma. Before you say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, how to announce the niyyah? Labbaik Allahumma. What is it that we're going to do now? Umrah. He said we're making Umrah and then we'll be done. We're making Hajj after that. Labbaik Allahumma Umrah. Labbaik Allah. If you're making it for yourself, you say Labbaik Allahumma Umrah. If you're making it for someone else, you say Labbaik Allahumma Umrah an fulan, on behalf of such and such, and you mention the name. This is the time to do. And it's also good to add something in there, to add one sentence in there. You say وَإِنْ حَبَسَنِي حَابِسْ فَمَحِلِّي حَيْثُ حَبَسْتَنِي. And if anything happened to me or anything stops me, then I am setting the condition that I will be free in there. So if anything, la qaddar Allah, Allah forbid, if anything happened to the person and they will not be able to continue, then they can take off the ihram and they should be good. This is a condition. Duba'a bint Zubayr, one of the companion women, she asked the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, I'm planning to make ihram, but I don't know, maybe something is going to happen to me. قال حجي واشترطي. You might set this condition. So you say, لبيك اللهم عمرة. If you're making it for someone else, لبيك اللهم عمرة عن فلان, on behalf of such and such. You can say that in Arabic or in any language. It's easy to say it in Arabic anyway. From that time and on, you will keep saying talbiyah after that. What is talbiyah? لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. And there are other forms of it, but this is the most common form. You keep saying that. Men would say it out loud. Women will say it in a lower voice, just enough for them to hear themselves and the people around them, but not out loud. And better to say it, sunnah to say it in the raf'i wal khafd, when you get out of the aeroplane, when you get to the bus, at the changing of situations and stuff, better to say. You keep saying the talbiyah up until you get to make the tawaf, to see the Kaaba and start making the tawaf. All of that time in the aeroplane, coming out of the aeroplane, in the airport, getting to the bus, out of the bus, all of that time saying the talbiyah. And you stop saying the talbiyah when again? When you see the Kaaba and start the tawaf. Make it to Al-Haram inshallah and say start the tawaf, khalas. Stop the talbiyah and get busy with the second thing that you have to do. Clear so far? Now, quickly. I will make a quick revision and then you ask the question. Quick revision for the first of the pillars of Umrah. The first of the pillars of Umrah is what? Al-Ihram, which is niyyah, setting the intention. It's called this niyyah, saying Ihram. Making the Ihram. You make, that's the pillar. Then less important, but it's still very important, is to make it in the miqat, in the place to do that or before it. And to put on the ihram for men. For women, their ihram is, they choose white, any color, any cloth is fine, as long as they are, covering. They're not expected to have any showing off and stuff. Obviously, nobody does that. They don't cover the face for women. They don't cover the face even if they have niqab. They take the niqab off during the state of ihram. For men, they put on those two pieces and they are not supposed to cover their head. They are not supposed to cover their face. For men, they are not supposed to have any gloves. That's for women too. They are not supposed to have any thing above the ankles. That's for men. Anything above the ankles for men. They might have those flippers or flip-flops, or slippers or something. But anything should be below the ankle, and you should find those easily. Those gator thing or the plastic flippers, anything. Before that, you prepare yourself by taking a shower, by applying some perfume for men also, not for women. Applying some perfume. Women also take a shower. Men and women, they will take a shower. They would remove the hair. They would pray to rak'ah. They will announce the niyyah after that, which is labbaik Allahumma umrah. If it's for someone else, labbaik Allahumma umrah an fulan, on behalf of such and such. And from that time on, you say the takbir. Any question? Just as far as what I explained so far? Yes, akhi. And then you.
Praying to rak'ah is sunnah or wajib?
Sunnah. Praying to rak'ah is sunnah. Yes.
Okay. You were saying that after shower you put perfume and cut hair before?
That's before the ihram.
Is it sunnah?
Sunnah. It's sunnah. Not usually you will not cut this hair. Back then, the Sahaba, they would make the ihram in Dhul Hulayfa, which is in Medina, and then it will take them like more than a week until they make it to Mecca. So they do those things to get ready, so it will not be too hard for them. But usually it's going to be for us, alhamdulillah, few hours. You don't have to do anything with your hair, but I was talking about the body in the most part. Symbolic, you want to do it, fine also, but you don't need to actually. It's mainly as a preparation. Because back then they would be in the state of ihram for like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, until they make it to Mecca. So it would be miserable if the hair is long and this is long. But now we are preparing ourselves and doing those sunan beforehand. Yes, akhi. Usually women, as we know the hadith, they are not supposed to use perfume in the public. or wear perfume in the public, as we know the hadith. Yes. That's disagreed on. Can we apply it only on our bodies or in the ihram as well? Disagreed on. Some would say yes, some would say no. I would say avoid it. Just put it in your body. Even if later on it touches the ihram, it's fine. Sayyidah Aisha, she put the perfume for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. قالت كنا نرى وبيص الطيب في مفرق رسول الله. She put the ihram on his head and on his body عليه الصلاة والسلام. Sahaba said we used to see even it's still bright, like we see the liquid is still there on his forehead. So you put the perfume because the color, the smell will be changing, getting to the airport, this and that. But then after that, even though it's still smelling good, fine, but you cannot put any perfume after that. One of the things that you cannot do from the minute you announce the ihram. Yes, akhi.
Before making the niyyah.
Yes.
So could it be done when we wear the ihram before starting the niyyah? When we wear the ihram.
When you wear the ihram and pray the 2 rak'ah,
Yeah.
and then right after the 2 rak'ah, you announce the niyyah.
No, because niyyah is when you are in the plane. Right?
Yes.
So do you need to pray the sunnah before you make the niyyah? Or
The 2 rak'ah, I mean, I said those 2 rak'ah you can do without them. You may not pray them at all. That's what I said. You may not pray if it's not convenient in the airplane. That's something I said. So you may not pray them at all. What you have to do is when it's time to make the niyyah, you should say the niyyah. That's the most important thing. Anything other than this is, as I said, other than this and other than putting on the ihram and everything, is you may not do it if you wish.
so you can do those 2 rak'ah immediately after you put on the ihram.
Not immediately. You may put on the ihram, as we said, from Frankfurt. Ihram is on, everything is on. Then when it is time to make the niyyah, you pray the 2 rak'ah, maybe even while sitting down, if you cannot do anything other than this, and then announce the niyyah. What if I think I even don't have wudu, this and that? Fine, don't pray and just announce the niyyah, and it's okay.
So it's not required to be in wudu for making the niyyah?
No, but it is required to be in wudu if you decide to make the 2 rak'ah, as we know. Please repeat the questions. Oh yeah, inshallah. I'm sorry, we'll repeat the questions inshallah. Again, we're still in the very first part of Umrah. We still have so many other parts of Umrah, and Hajj itself is mashallah big. So, yes.
It may be controversial. In plane, can we say 2 rak'ah like sitting on?
You may, inshallah.
It is allowed.
You may, if this is the only way to do it. So what can you do? Especially for the sunnah. Sunnah, it's much easier. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to pray even, I'm not sure if you know this hadith or not, but it is hadith, authentic hadith. He used to pray on his camel when the camel is not even going towards Mecca, like not praying towards the Qibla. But this is only in sunnah, in nafl, not in the fard. Fard is different. So like Mecca, Qibla is this way, but the camel is going this way, fine. He would just make the niyyah in the beginning and would do it. So that is for the sunnah, and only while traveling. Yes?
Before we leave the house, we have to pray 2 rakat also.
That's another sunnah, that you pray 2 rak'ah before you leave your city, and when you come back to your city, it's always good to pray 2 rak'ah. Yes, and ask Allah tawfiq in this trip and this and that. Yes. That will be too early. So for the niyyah, it's so easy. All you need to do in the miqat, he's saying, can we do the niyyah before boarding? That's, you're going to be boarding 5.5 hours before the time, the miqat. You may, fine, but from that time that you announce the niyyah, you will be in the state of ihram. So you cannot play with your hair, and you will be just like muhrim. Why would you do that when it's so simple and so easy to just, what I said, what's hard to do in the aeroplane is to put on the sheets. So you might do that before you get to the aeroplane, but you delay announcing the niyyah up until the time to do so.
If I feel like it's totally violent, if I feel like make the niyyah before boarding, that's totally violent.
That's fine. That's fine. Yes, you can make the niyyah. But if you want to make do the sunnah and the right way, you wait until the miqat and then announce the niyyah in there. But if you announce the niyyah any time before that, you are just in a state of ihram and you cannot do anything. That will add 5.5 hours of a state of ihram. Yes.
When we leave Frankfurt,
Yes.
then we're going to be in the airplane.
Okay.
The airplane, about making the niyyah and then taking the transport versus when I was in the airplane with the ihram?
The difference is that you're trying to do the sunnah as much as possible. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam always did the niyyah or announced the niyyah at the miqat. Announcing the niyyah at the miqat, it wouldn't make any, in my opinion, there would be no difference at all, no hardship at all for announcing the niyyah. What I said, what could make a difference is putting this on the aeroplane. I understand it might be difficult for somebody to put it in the aeroplane. The lavatory in the aeroplane is so small, so fine. You can put this beforehand. But that doesn't make you in a state of ihram at all. You're just putting it on in Frankfurt because the bathroom is bigger and stuff for convenience. And then you wait in the aeroplane, ready and everything, having wudu, or you may have the wudu later, fine, until you get to know that it is time to make the niyyah. When you know it's time to make niyyah, then you make the niyyah, you pray the 2 rak'ah and you make the niyyah. Or even skip the 2 rak'ah and announce the niyyah. Okay, let me show you quickly. MashaAllah, those are 2 ihrams, I guess. One suggested way to make the ihram, many people get confused when it comes to putting on the ihram, or they really like stuck in there. So it would be 2 sheets, one sheet for the lower body and another sheet for the upper body, al-izar wal-rida, as they are called. So one way to do that will be like this. You take it and bend it like that, and then you put it up here. Obviously the navel for the men should be covered. Many people, they do it just, right here. But this portion of the body, navel and down, is from the awrah for the men. So the reason why I'm bending this, you will know later that it will give you some kind of freedom to move. Bismillah. So you will be holding this in here. Obviously you will take off all the clothes. You'll take off everything, not even underwear. Many people, they don't know that, or some people at least. So you put it this way in here. One other strategy in this time is to kind of, how do you say it? Kind of take your belly in. Okay, so you make it tighter. You don't have to make it like really very, very tight. And then you take it another way in here. And what you do is just, that's what I'm saying. That's the first part of it. The first part of it is like that. You might have a seat belt, the belt around the waist belt. It's kind of a belt that you can put on all your stuff, the valuables, pocket or the phone or something. You can put it around it in here, and that's also fine. Many people don't feel secure without putting this belt, so it's also fine. If you put it around it this way, khalas, that's fine. You may also, that's what I usually do. My stuff is actually in there. You get them. You can put them, you don't need, in my opinion, I don't need the belt or stuff. So if those are my stuff, that's the phone, for example. No, that's not the phone. Can somebody give me a couple of items? Okay. So usually you will have, I think I turned off. Let me do it again. Bismillah. That's mute. Okay. So usually you have a couple of items. Don't take all of these, passport is not going to be with you anyway. Papers is not going to be with you. So all you have is this cell phone and the pocket or something. That's what you have. So here you do it again, like that. Go around your waist. And then you can put this phone up here, usually. Take it higher, a little bit higher. And you can put it here. Obviously, you'll not have all of these wires and stuff. And you take it one time, like that. And you may take it for the second time. If you go like this, I guarantee you can run the marathon if you want, and you'll be fine. You don't need a belt or anything. So, look at this. When I'm moving or opening my legs, still fine. If you do it the right way without having this thing up here, without bending it one time, it's not going to give you this kind of freedom. Okay? So now it's, giving me freedom when I sit down, and I ask the brothers to pay attention. When they sit down, you don't have anything underwear. So many people, you will not have chairs. You might sit on the floor or something. So please do not raise your legs or anything, because the awrah will be uncovered. So just pay attention to that. But as far as security, it's there, and I will move with my stuff in here. Believe me, they're not gonna go nowhere. You're not gonna go nowhere. So it's so easy, and if you can watch this video again, so easy. And then the other part will be just on the top, like this. I put this in the aeroplane, and it's gonna go like this. Many people, you know, put the pens, safety pens and stuff. Well, it's that's how I go. Pens and stuff, they might even hurt you with movements and stuff. That's all you need, believe me. So that's all you need. Until you go, now we finish the ihram, we put this on at the miqat, before the miqat, and then at the miqat we announce the niyyah. We come to Jeddah, we finish the procedure and stuff, we make it to Mecca. Be patient. It might take in the airport, Matar al-Malik Abdulaziz in Jeddah, it might usually, you know, to get out of an airplane or something, half an hour or something, maybe an hour, but it might take up to 5-7 hours or more. So be patient, because a part of it is understood. All flights coming from all directions of the world to the same place. So you might be sitting and it's really humid, so humid in Jeddah, and you will be finishing the procedures of the aeroplane and stuff, and then going to Tafweej, regrouping them, and then going to which bus. Each of those stages you might be easily waiting for 2 or 3 hours. So until you get to the bus, and then when you get to the bus, you will, it's usually 1 hour trip from Jeddah to Mecca. It might take up to like 3 hours or something. A lot of checkpoints, and they check the passports and papers. When you get to Mecca, you make it to Mecca, another hour maybe or 2 to get to the Mutawif, the office of the Mutawif. He checks everything, and then he send you to the place where you, the hotel and stuff. When you make it to the hotel, inshallah, all of that time you are saying what? Talbiyya labbaik Allahumma labbaik, being, you know, when we say it now, it's kind of easy, and we have the shawq, the longing to Mecca, but it's going to be after a long trip. It's going to be a few hours going to Frankfurt, and then a few hours in Frankfurt, and then another few hours in the aeroplane, and then another several hours, and you'll be so much tired. So try to think positively. I'm now going to the house of Allah Azza wa Jalla. I made it all the way. Think of that. Think of that, oh, subhanAllah, I left my kids and I left my job and everything, and I'm coming to Allah. Think, you know, of those things. Make adhkar, and always purify your intention. Oh Allah, I'm taking all this pain for your sake. Oh Allah, accept from me. This is what makes all the difference between a Hajj and somebody who is going for, you know, I like it when I read it in the paper today. Somebody was holding a camera and, oh yeah, take a photo. Fine, you can take photos. I'm not saying, but you know, I need you to be in the state, the mindset of Hajj, really Hajj. Take photos and everything, fine, but more importantly is what's in your heart. You come to Mecca after passing all of these procedures, and please, please be patient. Be patient. Your patience is going to be put into test. Fine, you make it to the hotel and everything, get your room. Sometimes even it takes a long time until we get our room. So we might go to make Umrah first before we take the room, but usually I don't do that. We take the room, and then we can even get rest if we get too late and we are too tired. We have sisters and everybody is tired by default. You might even sleep until the next day, fine. We decide about this when we get there. I usually, alhamdulillah, we usually do it when we go there. But it's fine, sometimes it's really taken longer than usual. And Haram is crowded. We wait until the next day, or if we come late or something, we can take some rest. We will let you know inshallah about that. We go as a group, and the hotel is in front of the Haram, alhamdulillah. So the time we decide, we come to make the Umrah. We will meet, but again, all of the things that we do in groups do not only depend on the group. Do not depend, oh yeah, I'll be with the Sheikh and fine. No, please. You have to know what we are doing, because it's 100%. Usually I go with the entire group, 40 people, or the entire bus, 45 people. When we finish the tawaf and sa'i and everything, I have only maybe half of that, or much less than that. It's not like we are here in our masjid, let's go to the other room. No, you're gonna be moving with other millions of people, so it's difficult. Usually you will get lost, fine. Not get lost, you will, you know, separate from the group. So you have to know what we are doing. Simply, it's going to the Kaaba. When you make it to the house of Allah, like you do it with, you know, you enter any house, you enter with the right foot, and you will say, The adhkar, Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, Allahumma aftah li abwaba rahmatik, as you do with any masjid. You make it to the masjid, and again the preparation before Hajj, you have to probably review all of these ad'iyah, what to say when you enter the masjid. There is a dua also when you see the Kaaba, Allahumma zid hadha al-bayta tashrifan wa ta'ziman wa mahabatan wa birran. You might also memorize this dua. Or in any of the dua, it's always better to say the sunnah dua. But if you cannot remember it or anything, please do not take any booklet with you. I don't like this. Booklet and somebody is just getting into the masjid, yeah, let me read. Reading is not like saying it from the heart. For me, it's better that you don't know it, fine, but just say what comes to your mind, what comes to your heart, and you'll be much better than just reading from a book or something. Don't read from a book. Now is the time to read and learn and memorize as much as you can, and don't worry about that. It's not, rocket science or anything. You come to the house, you get to the house of Allah, try to make it from Darus Salam. Go with the group anyway, from Babus Salam. Then you see the Kaaba, you say the dua, you start the tawaf. That's what we are going to do right now. Can somebody get this Kaaba, this thing in here? Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. So, did you make a door or something? Where is the door? عندك؟ مفيش عندك مصلية؟
We can assume this side.
Yeah, if you have مصلية ولا حاجة. هات السجادة دي.
Papers.
اوكي. مفيش واحدة صغيرة شوية؟ طيب. اسكت يا شيخ. ماشي يا شيخ، هذه جميلة دي. شكل الباب. Okay, this is something. It looks like the Kaaba, inshallah. Just to be. So, what is this? Why I'm putting this? What is this? This is the door of Al-Kaaba, to know the dimensions and to be aware. In door is not going to be in the middle. It's going to be in one side, and it's going to be closer to one of the sides of Al-Kaaba. This side that's closer to the door of Al-Kaaba has what in here? No. Al-Hajar al-Aswad, the black stone. So the black stone is going to be closer to the door of Al-Kaaba. The door is not in the middle. It's closer to one of the sides. So it's closer to the side where the black stone is in here. Okay? Hijr Ismail or Al-Hatim is in the other side, is here, in here, which is like an arch. It's going to be like this chair in here. So this is Hijr Ismail, where you can get through actually. There is an opening and you can walk from here. Usually it's closed, but sometimes it's open. You can walk through here, you can get in here and pray even. Everybody can see, sisters can see? You can get into here and pray sometimes. It's like an arch that's high, almost this height. Okay? And it's around the Kaaba. It's part of the Kaaba. When we make the tawaf, you cannot get through that. You have to go around it. You have to go around it. We come to the Kaaba right now. We said the intention, right? And we come. Said all the du'as and everything. There used to be a line on the floor. I'm not sure if it's there. But anyway, the beginning of the tawaf is going to be from that corner. If there is a line in here, you have to be behind this line. You cannot start the tawaf from here. There is a green light also, yes. If you look at your right, if you are here and you look at your right, but usually it's kind of weird, but it is there. If you look at all the way far in your right, you should see a green light. So be behind this green light. So by the Kaaba, it's in this corner, be behind it. Start. And you will start your tawaf. What is this tawaf called? Tawaf al-Qudum. Ahsan, Tawaf al-Qudum. And it's one of the pillars of Al-Umrah. One of the pillars of Al-Umrah. So this is the second pillars of Umrah. Second pillar of Umrah. What was the first pillar again? Niyyah. We said the Niyyah. Now I'm getting to the second one, which is Tawaf for 7 times. How to do the Tawaf? Doing the Tawaf like this, starting before this line. There are some sunan to do in here. Only in this Tawaf. Only in this Tawaf. All the time I have been like that with the Ihram. Just like this for men. Women, it's not going to make a difference for them. At this time, I will uncover the right shoulder by taking the right hand out. This side is up here. And then you take this. So the right shoulder, obviously you'll not have any clothes. The right shoulder will be uncovered. What is this called? ittiba'. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did it with the Sahaba when they were coming from Medina after years and years being away from Mecca. And Mecca at this time used to be non-Muslims were living there, so they started spreading some rumors. Oh, Muslims become weak and they cannot, let's see them. And then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered them to show them the right arm, like strong, and they will do something else, which is ramal, for the first 3 rounds only. The first 3 rounds only, they will go jogging. We will start the tawaf right now. What should we do? You will face the black stone. You will face. The sunnah, and you read it in the books, the best thing is to do what? Go to it and touch it and make sujood on it. Make sujood, forehead on it, and kiss it. That's the sunnah, right? But please, 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 don't try to do that. Don't try to do it unless you need to fight. Everybody is trying to do the same thing and everybody is here. You can't normally unless you really need to fight. So that's what, again, it's one of the pillars of Hajj, to touch the stone and kiss it, right? Is it? It's not. So why I see people fighting? I see somebody taking his wife, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, and getting into a crushing, getting here and there. Haram, wallahi, that's haram. That's less of fiqh. Don't get there. If you can get over there, inshallah, I can tell the youth how to, one strategy, simple strategy, which is so easy for me, but it will need some kind of power. If you need to get to Al-Hajar Al-Aswad, this is what you have to do. Come all the way from this side and stick to the Kaaba. Obviously, it's very less crowded in here. And you will go inch by inch. Stick to the wall, inch by inch, inch by inch. Everybody is fighting around here, but you are sticking to... At the end, in no more than 20 minutes or something, 15, 20 minutes, you find yourself in here. But you have to be strong, because everybody will be, you might get easily crushed into the Hajar. So if you have to do it, but you don't really need to do that. What you say is you face it. You face Al-Hajar quickly, don't stay. Don't stop in there for a long time, because many people, tawaf is going. So if everybody is standing in there and trying to raise his hand and recite the entire thing, it's gonna block everybody. So you just face it, Bismillah Wallahu Akbar. And you point to it with your right hand, and that's it. You start the tawaf. You will be going the tawaf. Where is Maqam Ibrahim, by the way? The station of Ibrahim. It will be right here, on this side, in front of the Kaaba. Well, let's say this is Maqam Ibrahim in here. Let's assume this is in here, the station of Ibrahim, where people, it's in the mataf. So this is going to be the first tawaf, and I'm going. There's nothing special to say. We can say dua. Remember all the du'as, all the things that people ask you to say. Remember your family. Say dua. You can recite Quran, but there is nothing. Some booklets mention, oh, this is the dua to say in the first round. The dua of the second. That's not right. There is nothing like this. So tawaf is one of the important ibadat. You need to be in wudu for that. I forgot to mention. Tawaf is like salah. You have to have wudu to make the tawaf. Anytime you lose your wudu during the tawaf, you stop, go make wudu, and come back and continue from where you stop. You just cancel the last round. So if I lose wudu in my 4th round, for example, in the middle of the 4th round, then I lost my wudu. I go, renew the wudu, and come back and start from where? From the beginning of the 4th one. And that's going to be the beginning of the 4th one. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. And do the rest of them. So 7 times. You cannot go through here. Take a shortcut. You cannot. It has to be around Al-Hatim. Here I'm going. I'm going and everything around the Kaaba. The last wall of the Kaaba, or between this and that, is called Al-Ruknan Al-Yamaniyan, because they are facing Yemen. The two corners, the 2 Yemeni corners, those are called Al-Ruknan Al-Shamiyan, because they are facing the north, or Sham, or Syria. So this is Al-Rukn Al-Yamani. Al-Rukn Al-Yamani. Between this side and the last, when you are facing the 4th wall of Al-Kaaba, the last portion of the round, here it's sunnah to say what? رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. During that time. Here, when you face Al-Rukn Al-Yamani, it's also sunnah an yastalimahu. You might point to it, but you don't kiss, or you might also kiss it according to some scholars. You might, but don't stop in there. Some people, keep rubbing the Kaaba, and no, just you might touch it and keep going. You say here, ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. This was the first round, and for men we said the first 3 rounds you go like jogging. This one, and then the second, and then the third, you'll be having a tiba', all the 7 of them. But ramal, which is jogging, the first 3 of them. The jogging is only for men. So women, they don't do that. If you have your wife with you or your sister, khalas, don't do it. Just accompany your wife or sister and you should be fine. Try not to hurt anybody. If you are strong enough, many people decide like to go with their arms and you have to take all the space. No, just go. Do not go against the flow in any way. So don't go against the flow. Some people, when they finish, we go 1, 2. Before I say that, make sure the seventh time, I made the 7th time, I go around and I come up to here. Many people, khalas, alhamdulillah, I'm done, they leave from this door. No, you're not done yet. You have to complete the circle all the way until you pass the line. The green light is in there, or the side, the corner of the Kaaba, you have to pass it. So you finish the 7th line. Many people at this point, khalas, I finish, they go right. I go this way. But many people are coming, still coming this way. No, keep going. Just a bigger circle. Take a bigger circle until you get out of the mataf. Don't block it. Don't make it hard for anybody. After you finish again, what should we do? 2 rak'ah behind Maqam Ibrahim. Many people insist to make it right here, when Maqam Ibrahim is right in the mataf. That's going to block the tawaf. It's not possible. It's not going to be possible during Hajj, I'm telling you. So it's anywhere from here and up. You can go far back there. You can do it between the Kaaba and Maqam Ibrahim. Obviously, it's not possible either. But any place far or beyond that is fine. So you go back behind Maqam Ibrahim and you make the intention to do the 2 rak'ah sunnah. You might skip them if you have to, but actually there is nothing to hard, that will make it hard on you to make it. So you make the 2 rak'ah sunnah. In the first rak'ah, you recite قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. In the second rak'ah, you recite قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Done with that, you are done with the second pillar of al-Umrah. You don't have to make a tiba' anymore. Khalas, الطباع, cover your shoulder, fine. Even before the salah, because we know in the salah the shoulders is recommended to be covered. So you get back to the regular state. You don't have to have a tiba' anymore. After the 2 rak'ah, you drink from Zamzam. You drink from Zamzam. Sunnah is to drink as much as you can. And make the dua. And set make a wish if you want. Or make a special dua to Allah, because Zamzam lima shuriba lahu. When you drink Zamzam, inshallah, it's for whatever intention that you set in there. Allah will make it happen for you, inshallah. After you finish Zamzam, you go to the sa'i. Usually, a safa will be, if you look, this is side of the Kaaba, door is here, we start tawaf from here. Just draw a line, a virtual line. A safa will be right there, where you begin the sa'i. Just walk in there, and you should see a safa, which used to be a mountain. There's just a symbolic big rock in there, and it's kind of a marble thing is going up a little bit. So you go all the way to a safa. When you are rising on it, it's marble, it's not like a mountain. You say, Abda'u bima bada Allahu bihi. I start with what Allah started with. Inna as-safa wal marwata min sha'airillah. Allah said, indeed, as-safa, the mountain of as-safa and al-marwa, are both from the symbols of Allah. And you go, Allah started with the safa, you start with the safa. You rise on it, and then you face al-Kaaba. Obviously, with the construction and stuff, you might not be able to see the Kaaba from there, but face Kaaba on a safa. Now you are on the mount or the hill of a safa facing the Kaaba. You might take a rest. Then, after 7 times of tawaf, you might really need a rest. Fine, it's okay. Take rest. For the sa'i, you don't have to have wudu. So if you lose your wudu for sa'i, after that, you don't have to have wudu. It's okay. Fine? So, but for tawaf, you have to have wudu all the time. So, if any salah comes during, let me talk about tawaf before we go from here. Time of salah comes, for example, you can stop the sa'i, fine. The tawaf, and pray, and then after the prayer, everybody stops anyway. Tawaf stops for the Salatul Asr, for example, any salah. You pray with them. After you finish, you continue. You build on where you stop. That's fine. Any question as far as the tawaf or anything before that? Before we get to the sa'i? Yes.
At the first time or
Every time. That's a good question. Yeah. I am not, the Hajj and Umrah is full of a lot of details, so please make sure you ask questions. You say it in the first time, and every time you come to it, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. You face it, and you say, as you're walking, like you're walking and just Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, and then you continue. Yes?
if you are going with your wife and then you have to go to Zamzam, I know that Zamzam you have to go downstairs.
No.
There or just
It's not there anymore. I was there in 2000, 2001. I think 1 or 2 years after that, they took it off. It's now Zamzam. You see faucets all around. Just go to any of the corners and you should see faucets, and they will tell you that this is Zamzam water. So you go to any of those sides and drink some Zamzam from there. Yes. You touch it too. So you can touch Rukn al-Yamani, and usually it's easy. No, because not many people in a Rukn al-Yamani. Anybody can tell me where is a Rukn al-Yamani or the Yamani corner? This? This? Yes, it's this one. So this one is sunnah to touch it too. Can you tell him Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? But not kissing it. It's not in the hadith that he kissed it. The one you kiss is this, touch it and kiss it, and also make sujood on it. But again, I'm saying it's really gonna be hard to do that. Good question. You build, يبني على الأقل. You go by the minimum. So I'm confused. 4 or 5? How much should I make? 4. Oh, 5 or 6? No, 5. And there is nice sibha كده, some counter or meter that you count. And you really get confused because you're really tired and they all look the same. I guarantee you get confused if you don't really have a meter or something. So you better have this any kind of way to remind you.
One more question.
He said, what if I'm confused, 4 or 5, 3 or 4? I got confused in counting the number. So I said, when you get confused, go by the minimum. By the minimum. Confused 2 or 3, make them 2. 5 or 6, make them 5. Yes?
The other one is, if you have a break, you will do less than 4. And then you can start from first.
If you have to stop during any of the ashwat, any of the rounds, خلاص, this broken part of the round does not count. You start from the beginning of that. Huh? Except for salah. Yeah, if you lose your wudu or something. But in salah, خلاص, usually when there's the iqamah, they make iqamah to salah, you cannot go nowhere. You have to pray where you are. Finish the prayer, continue from where you are. That's fine. Again, that's, it really depends, but when we get there, we decide about this, inshallah. But usually late in the night, like after midnight or something, especially after 2 a.m., it's a good time. Way before Fajr, any time from it really depends. And always haram is there, and you have TV on each room, on the hotels. You can tell, you can see people. So when you see it less, a number of people, you can always get there. Yes?
Yeah, before Salat, the Hajj, you can make it at that time.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, like 1, 2, 3 a.m., but not try it before Fajr. Before Fajr, a lot of people are coming. After Fajr, a lot of people are there. And the best times is actually when it's really hot, in the midday, because not many people go. But if you can take it, for youth people, like right after Dhuhr or something. Not after prayers. Usually after prayers it's going to be, but between Dhuhr and Asr, it's so hot. Not that many people are there. But it's going to be faster, but if you can take it. Yes?
It's like salah.
Exactly.
Can you drink while you're making tawaf?
Yes, you can drink and everything, not a problem. It's like salah in terms of you have to have wudu for it. You have to have that. But drinking water, yes, you actually need to drink a lot of water. You'll be losing a lot of water. Naam? You can talk, but again, not the kind of talk I saw many people. It's funny. The phone rings, and yes, he's talking to his wife, and you hear all kind of funny things. Yeah, how's the stuff? Yeah, please take this from the living room and put it. Yeah, you're in tawaf. So, I'm not saying this is haram. Not saying it's haram. No, it's not haram. You can. It doesn't break the tawaf or anything. But And I made one time Umrah when we were in the youth in the college, and our friends, mashallah, they were making jokes and everything. So, I mean, no, that's time of ibadah. It's like salah, focus, make dua. This is the best ibadah ever that you can make in Mecca, believe it or not, is tawaf. Tawaf bil bayt. The best ibadah to make to Allah while being in Mecca is to make tawaf.
When you say it's ibadah festival, out of Umrah, can we do tawaf?
Yes, you can. Out of Umrah, you can also make tawaf. For those who can make it, as long as you are in Mecca, make as much tawaf, like every time you come to the Haram, if you can afford it. After that, you finish the Umrah and everything, and instead of praying 2 rak'ah, you can.
Does it have to be 7 or any number of tawaf?
You can actually do any number of tawaf. Any tawaf hawla al-Kaaba, which is the extra one, is fine. You can make as many as you want, inshallah.
You're not wearing socks or anything at that time.
Yes, at this time you will not be wearing socks or anything.
Can you repeat the question so that it gets recorded?
Yeah, so inshallah. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, if you mention that whenever you are in the Haram Sharif or inside the Makkah, drink as much as Zamzam, it is a blessing, big blessing.
Right, it's a blessing.
You have to drink Zamzam.
And also you need water, actually. You need a lot of water because you lose water while not knowing. We finished the tawaf, khalas, alhamdulillah. Now we go to last question. Yes, akhi.
I can understand exactly when we put this ihram, we have to use underwear or no?
No underwear. No underwear.
It's for everybody?
That's for men, for all men. Yes. The question is, do we have underwear? Do we put underwear when we have the ihram? And the answer is no. No, and that's the only 2 pieces that you have to have. Let's finish the Umrah and we take a break, inshallah. We finish the Umrah and we take a break, and then we can come back for Hajj, inshallah. So, yes, akhi.
Tawaf, which one is better to recite the Quran or make dua?
Which one?
It's better to either recite the Quran or just make dua? Which one?
You can make, it's going to take a long time. That's number one thing. So you can divide your time. Maybe sometime you recite some Quran, sometime you make dua, sometime you make dhikrullah azza jalla in general. That's what you need to do.
Is it making dua better?
No, there's nothing that's better than the other. Qira'at al-Quran is always good too. Making dua is good too. So don't deprive yourself of anything. Make maybe for 1 or 2 rounds you make special dua that you need to make. If you run out of dua, then you read Quran. Make any dhikr, inshallah. It can be in your own language. Doesn't have to be in Arabic.
Usually it's very crowded, especially when you are with your wife or something. How would you do Ramal? What's the best way to Ramal when there is no space for you to join here?
Don't make Ramal if you have your wife with you. That's what I said. If you have a wife or sister, how come you be judged? Obviously, you will not have even the space to do it. But what you try to do, if you cannot, ما لا يدرك كله لا يترك جله. If you cannot get it completely, at least don't miss it completely. So your wife is with you, you just do it like, it looks like you're running, but you're not actually, you're just walking. Yeah, pretend you are doing it. That's what you can do, trying to do the sunnah. But I saw also some people, his wife is with him, he's trying to run, and take it with him. Yeah, take it easy. You don't have to do that when your wife is with you, because this is not for her to do that. Yes.
During the time of the tawaf, we need to take our right shoulder out and put the ihram in the middle of it. So during the time of the prayer, can we offer the prayer the same way, or we need to?
You cover your shoulder. During the prayer, you cover your shoulder. Yes.
Then, once we resume our tawaf, we need to.
You can do it again. You can uncover it again. Uncovering is only during the tawaf itself.
I couldn't touch on, sorry. You said that we open the shoulder, exposing the shoulder.
The right shoulder.
The right shoulder, I'm sorry. This one for showing the Muslim women like weak or some say this one. They can
Stronger. Show that we are stronger.
So what was the reason for that one?
The reason behind this is that when they were back then, Mecca was under the non-Muslims. And Muslims were in Medina. And they agreed somehow that the Muslim will come and make Umrah and then go back. So non-Muslims, the residents of Mecca, they were spreading a lot of rumors that Muslims, when they make hijrah from Mecca to Medina, they got sick, they got a lot of diseases, and they are weak, and trying to spread these rumors because they were the enemies. This is a psychological war. So when the Nabi ﷺ came to know about that, he said, let's show them that no, we are stronger. So he showed them that they can run and they are strong. Then seeing that, they were all in the mountains looking at them. They said, no, they are not as we used to think or people tell us. That was the reason for that. Well, yeah, we need to go to Sa'i. Yes.
So during the tawaf, can women wear the socks?
Women wear the socks all the time. Yeah, they wear, if they have, yeah, I mean, covering, it's part of the things to be covered anyway, but it's, when I said that ankle thing and slippers and stuff, that's for men only, not for women. Then, okay, I will talk about things about to do in ihram, and I always keep forgetting. During the ihram, let me say them. During the ihram, there are some things that you can do, some things you might not do, or you don't have to do. Covering the hair for men, you don't cover your hair, but you can always choose the umbrellas. You can use umbrella. That's not covering the hair. That's umbrellas. You can. We know that we cannot have anything around our bodies, makhit or muhit, something that has stitches. Not any stitches. Stitches in such a way that make it around any of the limbs of the body, because this has stitches also. Anything. Belt has stitches, but it's not made to be around one of the organs of the body somehow or so. Glasses are fine. Rings are fine. The watch are fine. The belt is also fine. Even the pins, the pen, the safety pin, all of that is fine. Okay, let me make to the sa'i, and then inshallah if you have any other questions, we can delay them to the end. Sa'i is easy. You're gonna have to do it 7 times, starting with as-Safa. Get to as-Safa, the mountain of as-Safa, which I said. To know it, once you finish the tawaf, make sure you pass the line, and then you look at your right. Go straight to your right, but don't go like straight. Try to continue the circle, and then you can always come back to as-Safa. Get to as-Safa, you will face the Kaaba, and you raise your hand like you make dua, and you say the dua. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده أنجز وعده ونصر عبده وهزم الأحزاب وحده. And then you say dua, any dua that you want. And then you repeat the same thing that I said right now, لا إله إلا الله وحده. And then say another dua. And then repeat this thing, لا إله إلا الله, for the 3rd time. And then after you finish it, you start. What if it's too much for me? Here I'm recommending you, you can probably, this is the time to, we still have like a few weeks before we go to Hajj, go and do your homework. What if you do your homework, but now it's too much stuff and I can't forget it? Fine. You can at least remember La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, and make dua for yourself and repeat it 3 times. It's okay. And then you start the sa'i. From as-Safa, this is as-Safa. Where is al-Marwa going to be? It's going to be in the other direction in there. You're starting from as-Safa, and you'll be coming down in the mas'a. Always go, the higher the better. There are like 4 or 5 floors, I guess. 5 floors. Go to the upper, the highest one. The higher the better. The less people. The first story, the basement, will be always crowded. So, extremely crowded, especially during Hajj. Go to the 3rd or 4th. If it's not daytime, if it's daytime, sun is going to be, so go to the 3rd. And it's going to be much lighter. And on as-Safa, if you are tired by then and stuff, or elder, or somebody, pregnant woman or something, you should find some volunteers if you need to. Not many people know that. There are some volunteers in there. Some people who you pay them money, a lot of money. They will ask you for like 500 riyals or 300 or something to take you on a wheelchair and make the sa'i for you. And there are also some volunteers in there, like some societies, or I think Boy Scouts of Mecca or something. They do it for free. Try to find them if you need to, and usually they have some special clothes, and they have something written in there, and they have badge or something. They can take you for free on this wheelchair if you need, and they will finish the sa'i for you. They can actually get them from the beginning. They can make the tawaf and then make the sa'i for you for free. And there is also other people that you can pay them money if you need to.
Can you rent a wheelchair and do it like yourself or an elderly?
If you need a wheelchair, it's going to be a longer process, because you have to go outside the haram, and there is an office there where you have to go in really long line. But I did it before. And you leave your ID, they give you a wheelchair, you can use it and then bring it back to them. But there is also some other people you need to check around as-Safa. Many people, they buy wheelchair, they finish the tawaf and sa'i, and they leave it there. They don't need it, khalas, for anybody. So you might find somebody who is done or almost done with the wheelchair, and you can, it happened with me one time, but you might not find that option. If not, you can go and get the wheelchair yourself. If not this or that, you can ask somebody to help you from those volunteers, or even those who are, paid. Start the sa'i, going into a sa'i. When you go like 1/3 of the distance, you see 2 green signs. Usually they go on the wall and then in the ceiling. You see them. السنة أن يركض فيهما الإنسان ركضا شديدا. What is it that we are doing when we make sa'i? What is it that we're trying to remember? Why is it done at all? Hajar alayhi salam was doing that, searching for water, going, between the 2 mountains. When she came to this area where the green sign is, she was almost running. A lot of sisters said, well, if we do that because the woman, she was a woman, Hajar, and she was running, why can't we run? Yeah, she was running because she was by herself back then, and she has to find water and stuff. But now, men and women, it would not be fit for women to run. Here, between these 2 green signs, men may, if they are by themselves, and it's fine, they don't hurt anybody, they can run in this area. And it's not big, it's like, I think like the area of this masjid or something, from here to here. And then they continue as usual. Going from As-Safa to Al-Marwa, when you get to Al-Marwa, you will look into the Kaaba again, up, go all the way up. And then you make the same thing. You say the same dua, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, and then make dua, La ilaha illallah wahdahu, for the second time to the end. Another dua, and then for the third time, La ilaha illallah wahdahu, to the end of the dua, and don't make dua after that. And you will be done with the first round. That's the first round. Then you go back to As-Safa, that's the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. The seventh, you will finish at Al-Marwa. And by then, you finish the third of the pillars of Al-Umrah. We're still making Umrah. What was the first one of Al-Umrah again? First pillar? Niyyah, from the miqat, in the station. We did it in the aeroplane. The second one? Tawaf, 7 times around Kaaba. We just did it. Third one? Sa'i between Safa and Marwa. We did it right now. 7 times. Every time you get between these 2 green signs, men running a little bit. For Sa'i, you don't have to make, as we said, Tiba'. That was only in the Tawaf. You see many people still, maybe they forgot or something, but they are still, no, you cover. Make the sa'i 7 times. Done, you'll be done at Al-Marwa. Sisters, you might have some scissors with you. The little scissor, it's easiest for the sister in there. Or wait until you get to the hotel, either or. All you have to do, you will do, men and women, the last thing for the Umrah, which is cutting or shaving. Halq or taqsir. For women, it's easy. They just, what they take is just the tip of the finger, like this size, half an inch or maybe 1/4 inch, from all the sides. She can do it under the hijab here, and from the back. Sister is done from the Umrah. Brothers, you need to really take some hair. So you might go to the barbers. They're gonna be close to the Al-Marwa gate, but it's always the best to have your own stuff. Those personal hygiene things, you need to get them yourself, and you can do it in the hotel, or brothers can help each other doing it. You might choose to do at this time not shaving. Don't shave, because you still have to do this one more time at the end of Al-Hajj. So you might just cut the hair somehow, and then you might shave after at the end of Al-Hajj, inshallah.
We can take the electric trimmer.
Yes, you can have the electric trimmer and then trim the hair somehow. Or you can always go, some of those barbers, it's, they have good standard, but because a lot of people are there, I'm not sure how you will feel comfortable to do that. But I did it in there a few times, it's fine. Just make sure they use clean stuff and so on.
Should you do it yourself or somebody else will do it for
Either or.
The other thing, from a ethical point of view, especially for the sisters, if they take the hair, they will throw it on or something, or
Well, they will throw it in there. I know it's sunnah to take it and bury it and stuff, but where? I'm trying to think. You're gonna go to the mountain and it's not easy. So you may decide. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm giving you options. You see some people cutting in there and you really need to come out of ihram. You can do it. You may do it. Easiest for sister. You may do it in there. But you may decide to wait until you get to the room. Fine. you get to the room and do it in the room, and that's going to be also easy and everything. By then, you don't have to do it, no. But you are still in the state of ihram until you do it. You are still in the state of ihram where you cannot do anything, all the things that you cannot do during ihram, you cannot do them until you come out of. That's the last point. That's the fourth of the pillars, and this is the last one. By doing that, by taking off your hair, you're out of ihram. So you can go, take the clothes off, take a shower, and do everything that you were not able to do before. That is Umrah. Umrah is done. The few things that you cannot do during ihram, the few things that you cannot do while having ihram, which begins when and where? Miqat, where? In the aeroplane. When we put it on in Frankfurt? No. That's when you announce the niyyah at the miqat, from that time. And ends when? By cutting the hair. Between those two times, everything in between, you cannot do any of those things. Anybody remind me? You cannot do what? You cannot clip the nails. What if it breaks? It broke by itself. Fine, it's okay. Like you were carrying the luggage, this and that, and one piece of it broke. Fine, not a problem. Intentionally, as long as you did not do intentionally cut the nails. What else? Cutting the hair. Don't cut the hair. What if I'm, trying? Usually in a state of ihram, يعني أشعث أغبر, you try. It's not about, combing the hair and trying to look nice. Yes, you will be, good to look nice, but it's not time to really spend time in front of the mirror. And ihram is like showing Allah that I'm coming from far away. Very simple and very humble, and trying to ask for your forgiveness. But in case if you are taking a shower, because you can take a shower while having ihram, fine. Taking a shower and some of the hair came off by itself, fine. What else that you cannot do? You cannot cover the hair for men. Women cannot cover the face and the hands. For the foot, for the men, they have to have something below the ankles. Ankles shouldn't be covered. That's for men. Obviously, the sexual relationship, intimate relationship between a man and his wife, you cannot do that. Hunting, you cannot hunt. You're not going hunting anyway, but you cannot hunt. You cannot cut any tree. You cannot cut any tree. There. Not that many trees are there, but don't mess with any trees or anything, or any bird. Last year, subhanallah, was it in Mina or something? No, not in Aziziyah, the place we had. There was a dove that has a nest at my window. You open the window, you see it having two little babies and stuff. I can't even, قالوا حتى ولا, you can't chase it away. You can't even you can break the eggs of it. If you break the egg of this, you have to pay fidya of one animal, one goat. Yes. What else that we cannot do? Perfumes. We cannot put perfumes.
What about deodorant and sunscreen?
Sunscreen is okay. Deodorants, if it doesn't have a smell, because some deodorants, they might have some kind of smell in there, some perfumes in them, but if they are neutral or something, that's fine. Make sure also the soap that you use, all of these controversial things, you get away from them. Don't use the soap that has the scent. Always use the unscented things. And it's for the Umrah, it's going to be easy, inshallah. Yes?
While performing the Sahih, what is the favorite du'as?
There is no favorite dua. You can make dua or read Quran, but there is no favorite dua other than what I mentioned. On As-Safa and on Al-Marwa, the sunnah is to say those things that I mentioned on the two hills. But in between, nothing. Every time you say them.
After every round, you have to say a certain word.
The only dua that I mentioned in Tawaf is facing Al-Rukn Al-Yamani or Al-Jiha Al-Yamaniya here. From that corner up to here, you might say ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. But always you can say any dua or reciting any Quran. Any other question? Anything? Naam? لا, تحية الماء, when you come to the masjid, we don't pray as we usually do. It's going to be the Tawaf straight. But after that, you will have the choice. After that, anytime you come to the masjid, after that, not during Salah, if Salah is there, you pray right away. But if you come at any other time, you either do the tawaf if you want, or make 2 rak'ah as usual. Option is yours. Or you may do both of them, tawaf and then the 2 rak'ah. Yes?
How long will the Umrah take? Because it's going to take a little while. You may, until Hajj, can we make 2 Umrah?
How long does the Umrah take? That's a good question. How long does the Umrah take? The actions of Umrah, it really depends. But usually it takes 2 or 3 hours from the beginning of it, not from the beginning of Ihram, because it's going to take several hours until you come off the aeroplane and then come to Mecca. But from the time you start the tawaf is going to take maximum an hour or something. It really depends also. Tawaf in the first floor around the Kaaba is much easier, even though it's so much crowded. Don't get intimidated, because when you look, you don't even see a space for anybody, but get down there and it's okay, inshallah. But don't try to get closer to the Kaaba, because it's really, really crowded in there. But if you go to the second floor or third floor, the circle gets really big. So you don't go there unless you really have to do. If you have your wife with you, I would say the best way is to have her like in front of you, and you'll be going behind her like that. Going next to you, don't expect you go together and she'll be next to you. No, you will miss her easy. Somebody's going to come in the middle. A lot of groups come, a lot of pushes from right and left. So you better be behind her and kind of having some kind of protection for her, and you'll be going like that. Yes. Any other question? Anything before we conclude? Yes.
You have to shave your head after Hajj?
You have to either shave or trim. Shave or trimming or cutting the hair, taking part of it at least by trimming. That's what you have to do after Umrah. I said it's better. I'm just suggesting or saying it might be better that you trim after Umrah, so you still have some hair, because we still have to make Hajj, and after Hajj we have to cut again. You can shave then, but you can still shave in both cases. Shave and then shave again. Fine.
For Safa and Marwa, like you said, the one round is from Safa to Marwa.
Yes.
Or back to.
No, that's gonna be 14. Safa to Marwa is 1, and then Marwa to Safa is 2. So one way counts as a round. But some people think it's round trip, going from Safa to Marwa and back to Safa. That's 1. No, that's too much. Gonna make it 14. So from a Safa, which is gonna be here, to Al Marwa, it's gonna be here. That's 1, and then Marwa, Safa 2, 3, 4, 7 will be at the end of Al Marwa. Any other questions? Make sure you ask all the questions. There is no such question that's like ask any question. Yes, sir.
Once you trim your hair, like, and you finish your first Umrah, can you then make a niyyah that you want to do another Umrah?
Yeah, I forgot to talk about this. What to do in between? I finished my Umrah, and we're gonna go there. When are we gonna go there for the first group? 21st, 22nd September. What is it in the Qa'dah? Do you remember? What date of the? It's gonna be several days before the day of Hajj. So you will have no less than a week or something. Several days before, a few days before you come to Al-Hajj. So many people, they get themselves exhausted in doing good things like another Umrah. Some scholars or some people say you cannot make Umrah. That's wrong. That's wrong. And they will say the Prophet didn't do it and this and that. That's true. You can always do Umrah. But the thing is, you'll do the Umrah, and mashallah, you're coming, especially for those who is going for the first time, very excited. Let me make another Umrah. Umrah is easy, by the way. It looks like but it's easy. Let me make another one for my mother, another one for this, another one for this. Don't do that. You can do all of these after Hajj, inshallah. So I would suggest that you make this Umrah and take the rest. But what do I mean by taking the rest? Go to the hotel, pray in the masjid, read your Quran. You still have to do night prayers. Not have to do, but I mean make qiyam at night and pray and spend time in the masjid and drink zamzam and stuff. But to gain some, you're already coming from a long trip, and you made the Umrah. Get ready for Hajj. Hajj is the main thing you're coming for. You're not coming mainly for Umrah, by the way. Umrah is important too and obligatory, but the main thing you're coming for is Hajj. Do not get yourself exhausted by making. I see people doing like 3 or 4 Umrahs a day. Make Umrah and then go back to At-Tan'im. You take a bus or taxi.
You have to go out.
Yeah, they have to go out. They take a taxi and then go to At-Tan'im in Mecca and then put the ihram and come make the Umrah again. But I know, people are excited, number one, and many people, their mom or their dad didn't get the chance to do it, so they really want to make for them. Fine, but you will have the time after Hajj, inshallah. After you finish Hajj and done, alhamdulillah, with yourself, you can do for them. You will have the time, inshallah, and you can do it if you still have the energy. But don't do it right now because you get really exhausted. If you just pay attention to this. If you got flu or something, la qaddar Allah, and got sick, what can you do for Hajj? It's going to be so difficult. You're going to go to the tent and stay, in Arafat, in the mountain, and sleep. So you really need to be in full shape before Hajj, inshallah. But you may do one Umrah or more, but I don't recommend this.
Suppose like after the Hajj, if you want to do another Umrah, you're already in Mecca, so you still need to go back to the Miqat.
Don't go to the miqat. What you do now is you go to the border of Mecca. The border of Mecca, the closest of those borders of Mecca is going to be like, thank you, you like half an hour trip, something like that, half an hour with the car. They take you outside the borders of the city, a place, the masjid there. You put on the ihram and come again. Masjid Sayyidah Aisha, Tan'im they call it, yeah. Yeah, okay, yes.
So we can also just put on ihram anywhere like we're living. I mean, because like for the Hajj, when we're inside Mecca, we just put on ihram anywhere, any hotel we're living.
That's for Hajj. That's for Hajj. For Umrah, you have to go out. For making the niyyah, we didn't talk about Hajj yet. All of that was talking about Umrah. And we already made the intention in the miqat out there. But when we make another Umrah, we're not going to go all the way to where the aeroplane was. No, there is another thing that you, Tan'im or Masjid Sayyidah Aisha, it's like half an hour trip. Depends on the traffic in there. So it's not far away trip. Sure.
About like cutting the last pillar, the fourth pillar of the Umrah. So night time, we're still in Ihram. When we're in Ihram, we're supposed not to cut hair. So
right.
It's better to always ask somebody, ask Babu to cut our hair. Because you mentioned that you can either do yourself or ask someone else to do it.
Yes.
But night time, we still didn't stand the fourth pillar yet. So from that point, can we do like cut hair by ourselves, or we should ask someone else?
You may cut your hair at the end, or you may ask someone to cut it for you. Either or. Either or. No preference.
The question is that we're still in Ihram that time.
During Ihram?
Yes.
Before that point, before finishing the sa'i?
No, before, because the cutting hair is the last step of we finish Ihram.
Yes.
So that time we're still in Ihram. So from that point of view, you seem like we can cut our hair by ourselves.
When they finish the sa'i, when you finish the sa'i,
I'm not sure if I got the question, but when you finish the sa'i,
yeah, we finish sa'i.
fine.
The only thing left is we need to
Cut the hair, right.
At this moment, because we are not out of Ihram yet.
Right.
What he's asking
When we
is,
are in Ihram,
I think his
we are not-
question is like,
Can I cut the hair of someone else before I cut my hair? That's your question?
His question is especially a question where in Ihram you're not supposed to cut
Yes.
or mess with your hair or
Right.
So you're saying we're still in Ihram. How are we allowed to cut?
how you end up Ihram.
That's the end of Ihram. You end your Ihram by cutting the hair. But you have to do this after doing all the other pillars. Is that your question?
My question is only like that last step is kind of confusing because you cannot in Ihram you cannot cut your own hair, but now like you unneeded cutting your own hair. So is it?
That's one of the pillars of it, because at the end of it, after you finish all the other things, now the Prophet ﷺ did it, and Allah said in the Quran, is you cut. At the end of it, you cut the hair as the sign. Actually, the scholars, some of them are saying, is it rukn? Is it one of the pillars of it? They argue about that. Or is it one sign that you are ending your ihram? Some of them say it's one of the signs that you end your ihram. So anyway, after finishing the sa'i, we cut the hair and that's it.
So we can cut our own hair.
Yes, you can cut your own hair. That's fine. Inshallah. During tawaf, one question from the sisters. During tawaf, what we say beside Rabbana Atina, sunnah, there's not a specific thing sunnah that you say other than this. Beginning, we say Bismillah Allahu Akbar, and then when we face this Rukn al-Yamani or al-Jiha al-Yamaniyya, we say Rabbana Atina fi dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan. Other than this, you can say any dua, you can say any dhikr, make dua for yourself, for your family, for Muslims, for people in Palestine, in Pakistan, everywhere, people who need your dua. This is the time to do. You can recite Quran, but do not carry any of those booklets, please. And I don't want to say some funny things. People carry some books and keep reciting, and most of the time they don't even know the meaning of what they're reciting. For the non-Arabs, and somebody was really reciting. I heard it, and some other people told me, no, I didn't hear this. Somebody told me about it. He was reading all the way to the end until he read طُبِعَ عَلَى نَفَقَةِ أَحَدِ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Usually at the end of the books, it says that was printed at the expense of one of the muhsinun. So I was reading this too. No, don't read any of those books, because Allah doesn't want you to just read words that you don't know what do they mean. No, He better wants you to say something from your heart. You are communicating with Allah Azza wa Jal. Another question from the sister: after coming out of a state of ihram before Hajj, can we use perfume, shampoo, or? Yes, you can use all of that. When we finish the sa'i and then we cut the hair, you are out of ihram. Out of ihram, you take off this. For men, take to the regular clothes, wear you are just like normal. There is nothing. Halas. You can have the relationship with your wife, you can have perfume, just like anything that you can do in the normal time until the time of Hajj. Yeah, perfume outside in the public. Let's not confuse things. She can have perfume and shampoos and stuff, for her husband or something. That's fine. But sisters, as we mentioned earlier, in the public, they are not supposed to wear perfumes. Generally, not only in ihram. Can sisters not wear socks? They might not wear socks. It's disagreed on. Is the foot part of the awra or not? The part of the body of the sister that need to be covered or not? Yani disagreed on. Apply sunblock before and during ihram. Yes, you may do that too, or only before. You may do it even during ihram, because it's something to help protect the skin. It doesn't have any perfume or anything. Okay. Can you provide the memorize and when you recite it, the dua and surah to memorize and when you recite? Not sure, but if you're talking about the dua and the things to recite during the tawaf, you can find a lot of booklets. You can find we mentioned most of them or many of them, but you can find a lot of books online and elsewhere having all of these prayers. Just make sure they are the authentic ones, not all of these extra prayers, the things that you do first round, second round. No, nothing like this. There is nothing like this in the Sunnah. I will take a few more questions and then we take the break, inshallah, because I need it. Yes.
If you pay for your journey for the wheelchair, the person can so well does not have a good track, and they believe that they have not reached about 7 side rounds. So do they have to make up the remainder, or what they might have done?
Like if you are not sure the person, it's your obligation. You're saying, what if I pay somebody to take me in a wheelchair and he didn't finish? It's your obligation. They usually finish. They wouldn't cheat on you or anything. They will finish. If you get to even to the beginning of where the marble started going up a little bit. If you get to the beginning of it and even take one step high and then come back, you did it. But don't turn and go back before you start rising this thing. But the best thing is to go all the way up and go. There is a pole in there. You go around it and come back again. That's the best thing.
I have one more question. Is it perfectly okay for men to go to Masjid Aisha for the dua or the ihram?
What is it?
Masjid Aisha is only for female. Is it okay for
No, for male too. For male, yes, for anybody. That was mainly Sayyidah Aisha when she was having the menses during the time they were coming, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, at the end he told her, he asked someone to take care there of her family members, and then she went outside of Mecca, and then she came to make Umrah. And that is the base why people go out and come to make Umrah. That's not only for females. That's your question. It's also for males as well, for those who want to make Umrah.
Why didn't they say that the man is left with his wife, the Sahih is finished, and the man is still in the state of Ihram, and can he assist his wife cutting her hair
Yes.
While he is still in Ihram.
Yes, not a problem. Not a problem. He can, while he is in the state of Ihram, the question is, can he assist someone else get out of Ihram, cut the hair? Yes, you can. Not a problem. Not a problem. You can cut the hair because you're helping him, not doing anything haram. But you cannot cut the hair of somebody who is still having Ihram. You see what I'm saying? Somebody is still in the state of Ihram. Like making tawaf here and you're cutting his, no, you're doing something haram, you can't cut your hair or his hair. But he is done and you're trying to help him do one of the pillars. That's actually, inshallah, if you set the right intention, you are ta'awanu ala al-birri wa taqwa. You are cooperating, making ta'awun with him to do something good, so you're going to get reward for that. You're going to help your wife and she helps you, fine. Last question, inshallah.
Last question, okay. During the tawaf and the Umrah, can we carry some kind of shoulder bag, because when we need
yes, you can have this case or
bag, we can.
Yes, you have your shoes in there, you have your stuff, some of your stuff, water bottle. Yes, definitely you can. It is allowed, and actually you see everybody doing that. So see, it's still tight. I went and I can even run with it. Still really good.
One or two ihram. We have extra.
When you get there, inshallah, doesn't even want to come out. Whose phone is this? Yes. So you will have two pieces like that. That's one piece for the lower body, and that's the other piece for the upper body. And then when you get there in Hajj, inshallah, you get one more, buy one more. It's easy. You can find them for a few riyals to be extra with you, especially for Hajj, because in Hajj you need to change. It will be, you go with this for days and days and sleep on the dirt, so you might need to change. So always there will be one with you. طيب, jazakumullah khair. Inshallah, by this we come to the end of Umrah, and then we come back for Al-Hajj, inshallah. We're going to take a break for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, inshallah, and come back, inshallah. We will start from the beginning of the Hajj to the end of it, and then we take the questions, all the questions at the end, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair wa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
طلع البدر علينا بثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع أيها المبعوث فينا جئت بالأمر المطاع جئت شرفت المدينة مرحبا يا خير داع